Well, we are extremely pleased to be here with you today. Happy to engage in a little Soul Tea and Alchemy conversation. We appreciate your question here today. So, where would you like to begin?
Well, firstly, I would like to say thank you so much. I feel very honored to be here with Ina and The Alchemists. And as I was breathing, coming into all of this, I just felt a smile spread from ear to ear. I just feel so peaceful and happy. So I just wanted to say I appreciate it.
Excellent. And that is the feeling of alignment.
Yeah, it feels wonderful.
Yes.
So would you like me to start? Should I ask my question?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to read it from the email I actually sent you. And what I said is, as I progress in my spiritual journey, I'm noticing something very interesting. I don't remember things as much as I used to. When I watch a movie or have an event in my life, it feels as though I integrate the message or the feeling of the event, but I'm not always recalling the entire story. And basically, I was hoping to expand on this because it's a very different feeling for me. I feel it's hard to explain, but I kind of feel like I'm just sort of flowing through life. And yeah, like I said, I just won't remember certain details of things, but just the feelings that go with it. I'll lose track of time. Like, it's almost encouraging me to live in the present. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, that's part of the process that is unfolding for you, is as you are awakening to who you really are as a spiritual being, a soul having a human experience in a human body, and as your limiting beliefs and old paradigms are falling away and more of the true you that you are is being revealed, the less the details matter, because this life experience really isn't so much about the details as much as it is about the being experience, the feeling experience that unfolds in each moment. And so it's actually as you are becoming more present in the conversations that you're in the movies that you're watching, in the experiences that you're having a fully immersed present moment experience. So all the details that you needed in that moment unfolded when they did, and those details are not really necessarily necessary outside of that moment, because you're just accessing your memory. Your memory being the feeling of what happened is really the best part. And we will say that when you need to recall details, many of you think you need more details than you do, and that's part of the busyness of the human mind, is filling it with details and details and details. And then if you forget details, you feel like something's wrong with you, or you're not smart enough, or something's going wrong with your brain. And what we will say is that there's nothing going wrong with your brain. It's that you're moving from a head-based existence in life more into a heart-based existence in life, and the heart doesn't need details. The mind needs to be fed with the details, and then you all get so caught up in, well, I need to know this, and isn't it wonderful that simultaneously the internet is at your fingertips as you're all going through this bigger awakening period, because really you can Google anything that you need at any time. You don't have to store useless information and details in your mind. You can access it at any point. And really, if there's something that you feel like you need to remember and you can't, it's not necessary for you to remember it. Or if it is, we would encourage you to drop back down into your heart center and drop out of your head, breathe into your heart, and be in a more heart-centered feeling place, remembering and connecting in with the feeling of the experience, and just breathing there, and having the heart recollection of what unfolded, and not being in a place of attachment or needing a specific outcome, but just breathing into a space of that heart-centered recollection of the experience. And if a specific detail is meant to be there, it's going to come from a deeper accessing of information than through your mind. Because through your heart, you actually have access to all the information that you need. But it comes through a feeling experience. It comes through a different experience of receiving information than the mental one. Does that make sense?
It actually does. It's something I feel like I knew it in my gut, because there was a period of time where I was getting concerned. I was thinking, why am I not remembering what I did 2 days ago? And there was a sense of freedom with that, but there was a part of me that was thinking, am I losing my mind? Am I not, why am I not remembering things? Is there something going wrong? But I've noticed, especially recently, I've really been expanding into unconditional love. And it leaks into my life, it leaks into my relationships, and it seems like the details of anything from the past that did hurt me, I'm pulling the lesson from it, but I'm not recalling or going back to the details, which is actually a gift to me. I see it as a gift.
Yes. And we will say that there are many people out there who are going through a similar experience of having memories fall away, details, not remembering quite what you did the day before, or specific parts of events just not being there. And we will say that it is all part of the process of awakening to more of who you are. It's a pulling back of the layers. It's because as you really start meeting who you really are, the details of all of it no longer matter. So it's like the details keep you locked in your head, and they often keep you from accessing more of who you are. And when you let go of all of that mental chatter and need to hold on to information, all of a sudden you're able to access who you are on such a more resonant, pure level. And so there really is nothing to be concerned about here. And it does cause you to be more present. That's the other side of it, that in not needing to be in your head where you're like, what happened there? And trying to recall events when you allow yourself to experience what's unfolding in this now present moment, the entire universe is right here. So you're trying to recall what was, it's keeping you out of what is. And the deeper you go into what's present right in front of you, the more magnified your entire existence becomes, the more delicious your existence becomes, and the more you just bask and milk this present now moment, your probable realities start shifting in front of you. And so the more you dive into this now moment of experiencing that unconditional love that you're becoming more and more present to, and experience just milking this moment right here. And as you're diving into this moment right here, your heart, you're out of your head, you're in your heart, you're feeling the love that you are. And as you feel the love that you are, all of the things that you've been wanting and seeking and being in your head about actually become possible in terms of how your future, if there were such a thing as time, but how your next segments in life, as it feels that way, start to unfold and wrap themselves around you. So the most powerful place to create from is really the immense, vast ocean of appreciation and present now momentness that gives you the keys to the kingdom are all right here in this now moment. And all that you've experienced is right here in this now moment.
Whew. That completely speaks to me, because just over the past 2 weeks, I've really been embracing this unconditional joy without having to have anything really change around me. So I've been focusing into that a lot. And I have had a lucky streak. One thing after another has started to manifest. I got my breakfast paid for when I was going through a drive-through lane just a couple days ago, and I was just happily waiting, and my breakfast was paid for. I've had money that's just been showing up. I've had opportunities arise for me over the last 3 weeks that I could have never imagined, that have just shown up. And they were just lightly thought about. And, you know, I'd say there's a handful of events that have occurred since I've been really practicing this space and just living in the moment, that it just makes me want to experience it more, and I appreciate it more and more, and I notice little things that come up more and more, which makes it feel even bigger. So it feels like the stream is just getting faster and faster with what's coming to me, and it's just so amazing.
So well said. and that really is the quickening of the manifestations and creations that are happening, because most people are living in the gap between I'm here and I want to be there. I want that money to be there. Oh, if only that money would come, if only that situation would come. And when you're where you are, but you're looking at where you're not, there is a gap that's created. And that gap is actually what keeps things from you. It keeps the magic from happening. And the gap is getting smaller and smaller for all of you that are getting more in that state of appreciation. But when you're really, really allowing yourself to be in that, in all that is in this now moment, and to be, as you said, in that unconditional joy, with just without attachment outcome, but just to be in the bliss of this now moment, right here, right now. When you are allowing that bliss to expand through your body, when you're allowing yourself to feel the joy that is in this moment, then all of a sudden more joy is possible, more bliss is possible. Right here in this now moment, more appreciation, more excitement is possible right here in this now moment. And when you are in that state, people pay for your breakfast, stuff goes up, money comes from unexpected places, because you're not in a gap anymore. You're not looking at where you're not. You're completely immersed in exactly where you are, which is where your access point is to all of the joy, to all of the bliss. It's not out there someday in front of you. Your access point to joy and bliss is right here, right now, in this now moment.
For sure. And may I say something really quick?
Yes.
I've been looking forward to a vacation that we go to Florida every year. And it seemed like in previous years, it was really difficult for me to come up with the funding to pay for the entire trip for myself and my children. And this year, I actually decided to have complete and utter faith and not pay attention to the current reality and to just believe without a doubt that I'm cared for, that it's coming. And just within, like I said, I've had these miracles that have just started happening. And just within the last 2 weeks, I got the best airfare. I got money coming in from 2 different sources that was totally unexpected that actually covers our entire trip. Just all sorts of little details that just keep showing up, and they've all come as a result of just trusting and, like I said, not really paying attention to the memories of the past. And like I said, some of that is really, I don't really recall too much from day to day. But it just seems like this infusion of progress has occurred in my life as I've adopted this way of thinking and consistently held on to it. And I'm really, really grateful.
Well done, dear one. Well done. And now you're getting it. Now you're getting the keys to the kingdom are right here in this now moment. And miracles occur from the present moment. It's now moment miracles, not something that is out there in the distant future. Mm-hmm. Your access, we can't express enough. Your access point is now. It's here now. That is your access point to everything. Because what's happening with your awakening is you're dropping out of time. Because there is no time. And as you came into human form, you had to create a system of limitations that would cause you to have an expansive experience with humans. And so you set up time and money. Time and money are the 2 things that you use to experience the entire realm of human emotion. Because time and money are the biggest feelings of limitation. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the money for that. I'm not going to get that done in time. I can't. Time and money are on top of me in everything that I do. And they, as you start to become aware of your broader experience in human form, that matrix of time starts to lift off and lift away, that limitation of time. We like to say this to people, that imagine where you are and just feeling the entire blueprint of time lifting up and off of you. So whatever it is that you're wanting to create in any moment, just feeling that any pressure, any feeling of time being a limiting factor, time crunch, any of that, just see the entire illusion of time lifting up, lifting away from you, because there really is no time. And the same thing with money. It's an illusion that can just lift up and lift off and away from you. And when you remove the limitations of time and money, instant manifestation is right there. Everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Well, because I even found with one of my projects I'm working on that more recently I just kind of let it go, and I just started to adopt the thinking that at precisely the right time, everything's going to come together for this. The right people, the right circumstances, all of it. And it's happening, just at the right time. There's these little steps of motion forward without any pressure, and I'm finding that there's solid movements forward, where in the past they didn't feel as solid. So that makes complete sense to me. Because
when you are in that in that state of flow, in that present moment place of being, all that is possible is divine orchestration. And we often use the words divine timing, but as we move out of time, because everything does happen in divine timing, but it's really about divine orchestration and resonance, resonant components rendezvousing together, and those components are so much more free to come together when there's no limitation of time put on them. So when you're dropping out of time and you're present in the now, the publishers, the people, the editors, the team that you're trying to call in, all the people, the places, the relationships, when they're not bound by the time that you are projecting at them, when you're projecting the limitation of time, it keeps those components away. And when you lift the matrix of time and drop out of it, all of those components just line up in a harmonic resonance of now.
And it's a lot more joyful going that route than trying to push for it. You know, because you could actually lose all the joy that you have for a project when you're trying to push it into a certain time frame. I find.
Exactly. And that efforting and pushing and trying to manipulate something into a certain time period or money or fear that they're not going to show up, the thing won't get done, you are literally pushing against the creation that you really want. So efforting does feel like effort because you're trying, you're working from your mind, you're thinking that you need to be doing a certain thing at a certain time instead of flowing and allowing and not being in your mind with whatever you're working with, but being in a heart flow space. And then it's just effortless and things glide and things move, and the universe has so much more room to surprise and delight you. The universe, when you're not in your head, not in a constraint period and not in resistance, when you are, the universe is like, well, there's only so much we can give you because you're pushing against all of this. But when you drop all of that, all of a sudden, the universe has a whole playground to assist you in creating total magic around you and to have work get done much more easily, much more quickly. It's a wonderful thing to be dropping out of time. A wonderful thing.
Sure. Yes, it makes complete sense, and I'm hoping this can help a lot of people.
By all means. Yes, that is why we so appreciate your question, because it is what so many people are experiencing now, right now. And for those of you that really are waking up, you will get this, you will feel this, and this really is your new place of creation. It's a place of creation without limitation. And it's far more joyful, far more magical, far more serendipitous and fun.
And I think that's what we're here for, is to have fun and not be stressed out and pushing and trying to make things happen. So it all makes sense.
Yes, it's what you came to ultimately experience, is the contrast of not knowing all of this stuff and being in the muck and the mire and feeling like you're walking through cement and it's harder to create what you want, and you're feeling all of the harder emotions. And then you came in this particular life experience to have this awakening period where when you start to release yourself from all of those systems of limitation, the feeling of freedom is just so much bigger, because you've lived in a place of not feeling free for so long. And as you move into freedom and bliss and joy and instant creation, the next chapters of your life are just are delicious beyond measure. It's just everything's more delicious. Dessert is more delicious when you're really, really hungry.
Right. And, I feel the sense of euphoria some days. It'll just sort of, I'll focus into this way of thinking, and then, I may have a few little rocky moments, and then I focus into it, and I'll get this wave of euphoria, and now it's coming quicker and quicker, so it'll just show up faster with practice. And I don't feel like I'm trying that hard for it, so that I think that's the key, like you were saying.
That is the key right there. Just what you said, I'm not trying that hard for it. Trying is pushing, whereas allowing, feeling, experiencing is bringing everything to you in this now moment.
Sure. Well, wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Big conversation. Yes. Excellent conversation. We so appreciate your question. We so appreciate you bringing through this answer that is helping so many. And there is just unending love for you here. You are so loved. So loved, dear one. You are doing so well. You are right on track. Right on track.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. And we look forward to chatting again.
Yes, thank you. Bye.